Yo, what's up, YouTube? I thought I'd make something really quick, different today, and do since Halloween's coming up. I did a really short video, a short of like a minute long of like the best metal soundtracks from horror films. So now I'll just do my top five Resident Evil games since it's that time of year. Well, for me, it's all year, but fitting for this video. And I wanted to show you my shirt. Check this out: video game horror Mega Man version, but with like slashers. Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, Chucky, Leatherface, so forth, which is pretty fucking sweet. And I just wanted to count down my top five favorite Resident Evil games. And these are all the originals, no remakes. It's all people want today's fucking remakes in cashless society, all that shit. While the remakes might be better than the originals, I don't know. I'm just old school. I fucking like the originals better. So let's count them down real quick. Number five, the game that started it all, the original Resident Evil from '96. This is the director's cut, which the difference is, you know, I think it was a couple added scenes here and there from the Japanese Biohazard, which is the name in Japan, added in. And this game is fucking hard as shit. The controls are clunky. I beat it with Jill multiple times. Chris, I always would fucking run out of ammo, so for me, it's one of the hardest, if not the hardest, Resident Evil games set in the I can't even fucking speak. Spencer Mansion and surrounding areas. For its time, the game was incredible and scary and unnerving. It still is with like I said, the camera, fixed camera angles and all that, and the hunters and pain in the fucking ass. And then the next one coming up, I'm going to do original Resident Evil 4. I think it came out on the GameCube originally. This is the PlayStation 2 version. This is often voted the best, or one of the top 2 or 3 Resident Evil games ever, and it fucking frustrated the shit out of me. New setting, Eastern Europe, small towns. The free aim, because I was so used to the fixed system, and follows Leon and Ada through like the villages, and it's just really weird. It's a great game, but it frustrated the fuck out of me, especially the Krauser battle and like the Verdugo and all those fucking bosses. It just pissed me off. I haven't played it since. It needs a replay through, but it's really long and it pissed me off, so I don't know if I'll give it a go or not. And it's for the graphics are amazing, the story is different but really good, and I mean, it's a great game. It's just my experience when I finally beat it was elation. So I didn't want to go back to that so soon, so I haven't yet. Anyway, it's 3, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I just played this recently, a few weeks ago. And it's a lot of people have this as a hard game. I played it originally pretty easily. I just ran around the son of a bitch and shot him from a distance. It's not that difficult, although there's a puzzle, a water puzzle later in the game at the end that pisses you off. If you know, you know. And it made it different because it's the type of game where you don't know where he was going to show up, and going through the next door won't stop him from still chasing you, which was unheard of in 1999. And the remake, I heard, sucked. It took a lot of the original areas, and it was all, instead of being spontaneous with Nemesis, it's all cutscenes now. Typical remakes. And I guess it's a short game as it is, and I guess the remake is even shorter, which is garbage. So next up is my maybe most underrated and quite possibly my favorite. It's a toss-up between these two that no one ever talks about. Of course, this is supposed to get a remake too, but I don't even know if it will, because the game is still cheap, unlike every other horror game around. No one cared about it because it came out on the Dreamcast. This is the PlayStation 2 version. That's Code Veronica. The X, I think, is just, I don't know, much different. I think it's like a couple, maybe like wardrobes, and the game is pretty much unchanged, and it takes place in 2 different parts. Both Redfield siblings. Claire starts out on an island that goes to Antarctica. Then your brother shows up looking for her. What makes it very hard are the puzzles, like the fucking painting puzzle. I had to look it up again. Somehow when I beat it when it came out without the internet, I don't know how the fuck I did it, but I did. I didn't have well, the internet was around, but I must have looked up a guide or something. But What really is hard about this game is, other than the puzzles, is if you use up all your ammunition without thinking, and then when the Chris shows up, you're left with nothing really, and you're running out of bullets pretty much. Although I played it through this time, it wasn't that bad, but um, yeah, it's just really difficult, especially with the Bandersnatches, and it's one boss fight after another at the end. It's a bitch. And if you use, like I said, there's not very many save points in boxes, so if you uh, use up your ammo, you're kind of screwed. And now my favorite, even though the thing's cracked to shit, Resident Evil 2, the original from '98. It was ahead of its time because, like Code Veronica, but Code Veronica on a better system, a system with more memory. Uh, it starts off, you can pick either Claire or Leon, whatever one, at different scenarios, and they interconnect a little bit, and you can save things from one character to play with another. And it was cool because it's like the first time like a big game like this where you can pick your adventure first, and when you finish it, you're only halfway through, which is pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. And the game, while rather easy in terms of Resident Evil, I don't know, it's just a nostalgic factor. It's the one that I beat first, the one that I always pick up of all the classic titles, and it's just, I don't know. It's, for me, it is the crowning jewel of the series, and I guess the remake gets high marks. It's often among the top 2 or 3 as well if you played the remake. And you have the Mr. X, and then you have the little girl and all that shit. It's a lot of side projects, Ada, all that, just like Resident Evil 4 side project. But Resident Evil 2 was the first one to really do it. And that's my list. I also have Resident Evil 0, which pissed me the fuck off, with no chest to put items in. You just had to drop them. And, had to switch characters. That was a pain in the fucking ass. I had Resident Evil Survivor, which was a garbage game, a light gun game. Only lasted like a couple hours. And then I have Revelations, which is really good, but I didn't consider it a part of this list because, I don't know, it's just a handheld, but it could make the top 5, push out the original. It's pretty damn good, but it's also really hard to, especially with all the monsters on it. And it's set on a ship, so kind of interesting, sort of like Deep Fear. If you know that game, the last Sega Saturn game released, I think it was only in Europe, not in the US, but it was set on the ship, and it was a survival horror game. Anyway, that was my 5 favorite Resident Evil games. I haven't played them all. Like I said, after 4, I stopped playing. I haven't played the remakes, although I do want to play the original one that came out in 2002, which is being remade again. Like I said, society's garbage. No new ideas. So I'll probably pick that up. It's on the disc with 0 as well. We'll see. What are your favorite Resident Evil games? Who's your favorite character? Claire, obviously, is mine. What's your favorite boss? Probably, I don't know what my favorite boss is. Probably Nemesis, just because he was a pain in the ass, always showing up all the time, and he's the most memorable. Favorite enemies, favorite game, whatever. I don't often make video game videos, so I just thought I would do something different. So keep it under 10 minutes. Classic Resident Evil. So let me know what you think of the series, your favorite game, and like I said, everything else. I'll put a video here. Please subscribe. It always helps. As always, keep on rocking, and I'll see you soon.